Len Stellion, the Midlife Empowerment Coach, and I'm thrilled to introduce Renay Roberts. Renay is a registered health and functional nutrition coach who helps women over 40 who struggle with sleep and energy. She helps develop healthy habits to gain energy, sleep better, lose weight, and maintain a healthy lifestyle without dieting. I like that. She coaches using a trifecta approach that aligns mindset with food and body so that you can heal, live fully, and transform into the best version of yourself. Wow, that's a powerful, powerful goal that you have. So, Renay, thank you so much for being here and welcome. I cannot wait to hear about the topic today, which is natural ways to reset our health in 2021. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for the nice introduction, and thanks everyone that's watching. I enjoy doing this, and I'm glad to be on your talk today. So I do have a few slides I'd like to share. I will go ahead and start. And while I am doing that, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. As Helen actually said, I am a functional nutrition coach. And I do one-on-one group coaching, all kinds of things. But I figured I'd tell you just a little bit about how I got to where I am today. I'm still a relatively new coach. I used to be in the corporate world, consulting for technology. And how I kind of got on the nutrition side of things is I've been passionate about nutrition for a long, long time, for at least 15 years. And it started with a really bad year I had about 15 years ago. I was sick probably more often than I was healthy in that year. It was crazy. I won't go into too much detail, but I had come down with the flu. And I don't know if anybody has had the flu where you're out of work for 2 weeks. It was brutal. I was so sick, and I vowed I would never get that sick again. I got healthy, I got better. And then I ended up getting a couple sinus infections that year, strep throat a couple of times. I was just so sick that year. And I was like, what's going on? So I finally decided to reach out to a naturopath who decided to do some food sensitivity testing with me. And I found out I was intolerant to a whole lot of food, like weird things too, like salmon or, red meat, dairy, stuff like that, some nuts and soy things are things I shouldn't eat. So she had me cut out a lot of the food that I was intolerant to. And lo and behold, I got better. And to be honest, I haven't really been that sick since that year. I get the occasional sinus infection, but it heals on its own. I don't need antibiotics. I don't need anything. I haven't had strep throat since. So I feel much better. And I totally attribute that to just changing my diet and my lifestyle, my approach. So, it's kind of sold me on the concept of that you can really change your habits. You can change your food, what you eat, your diet, and really feel better. So now that I've hit midlife, like all of us, hormones are changing, my metabolism's slowing down, sleeping patterns are changing. So things that worked for me before, when I was in my 20s, don't really work for me now. And I don't know if this sounds familiar to anyone else that's watching, but it's frustrating because you kind of get set in your ways. You know what works for you and you know what doesn't. But then every year that seems to change now as we get older. So one of the things I decided to do is put together a program for my clients to help them reset their energy and reset their health and their diet. So I personally like to do a health check or a checkpoint three to four times a year and reset my baseline. And it helps me kick out any bad habits that I may have acquired over the last few months. So I'm going to go into that. So why would you want to reset your health? Well, there are many reasons, including some of the ones I have listed here. You want to feel your best, or if you just want to renew like your baseline of well-being, if you just want to feel better, boost your immune system. Maybe you have some excess pounds you're having trouble getting rid of. If you want to boost your energy and just feel lighter and cleaner. If you've realized that you have this cravings for unhealthy foods, or you just want to discover food sensitivities, or just create healthy habits, this will be good for you to do a basic reset. So you may ask yourself, how do I know it's time for a reset? You may want to do it. If you have those extra pounds you can't shed, or if you feel like you get bloated after you eat, or like I said before, if you have low energy or feel lethargic throughout the day, or you feel addicted to foods that you know aren't good for you, but yet you can't stop eating them. Or if you just have cravings for sugar or starchy foods, or if you have foggy brain, difficulty focusing. Those are some signs that you may be due for a reset. So when I do a reset for myself or my clients, I like to focus on 3 areas: your nutrition, developing healthy habits, and shifting your mindset. So I'll first go into nutrition, and I'll talk a little bit about that, because basically what you eat and how you eat will greatly affect how you feel, how you function, and how your body reacts. Oops, sorry. Okay. Hit the button, sorry. During a reset, you want to focus on eliminating or minimizing foods that cause inflammation or sensitivities. That, like I said with my story, that really, really helped me. So I'm very close to that. One of the other things you want to do, drink a lot of water. You may think you drink enough, you probably are not. Drink more. It's just always a good thing to make sure you're very well hydrated. You'll notice on the right side of my slide, there's this diet range. So I like to use this, to talk about maybe having an elimination part of the program, a part of your diet, like eliminating some foods that may not be as healthy for you individually. So what you want to look at if you're thinking about doing a reset is look at the scale, and where does your current diet fit on this scale? And where would you like your diet to be during your reset? Many people will choose to go vegan during your reset. Many don't want to go that far. Maybe they'll keep seafood or chicken in their diet. Basically, you need to decide what's best for you and what you're comfortable with, because that's how you'll succeed in doing a health reset. Okay. So you also want to focus on these 3 areas when developing healthy habits, which is the second area of focus that I talk about. So I have 3 areas: sleep, movement, and body practices. So I think, a lot of us already know getting good quality sleep is so essential for your well-being. It's good for your brain. It helps control stress. It also helps you maintain a healthy weight, and it clears your mind. And it also helps fight viruses and colds by boosting your immune system and keeping it in check if you get good quality sleep. The second area is movement. Any type of movement is good. Walking, yoga, running, cycling, high intensity interval training, cross training, whatever. Just get out there and move. I do put a caveat in here to say, don't overdo it. Exercising too much or too often without proper recovery will tax your system and give you the opposite effects of what you're looking for. But movement and exercise is an effective way to cleanse your body of toxins, because you sweat when you exercise. So make sure you get out there and sweat. And not only is moving good for your physical health, it's good for your mental health as well, especially when you can get outside, get that vitamin D, breathe in that fresh air. It's so good. And then body practices. Developing healthy habits around body practices provides you with important opportunities to love and pay attention to your body. It helps you relieve stress, improve circulation, improve muscle and organ health as well. And so I listed a few examples here. So meditation and deep breathing, they allow you to reduce stress and clear and calm the mind. While massage and heat therapy, they're not only good for soothing various physical ailments, they also promote a calm and relaxing mind. Okay, so let's go into the third area of focus, developing a healthy mindset. So developing a healthy mindset, doing this will lower stress, it increases your lifespan, provides better physiological and physical well-being, and you may also experience higher energy levels, and you may also sleep better and have a clear mind. And some ways you can actually develop a healthy mindset, I've listed here. It's by, not all inclusive. Practice gratitude. Tell someone you love them and that you appreciate them. Notice the beauty in nature, or compliment your friends and family. Nurture your friendships. Good friends are hard to come by. And, go out of your way to thank someone, and check in on your neighbors, especially during this time. Spend time with positive people. So positive people influence you, they make you happy, they help you make better choices, and they motivate you, encourage you, and support you. Practice self-talk. Treat yourself with kindness and compassion, and stop judging yourself. Okay. Practice self-care. So I've heard this saying, and I use it all the time now. Self-care equals self-respect. Take a walk, schedule time for exercise and movement. Keep yourself hydrated, say no more often. Say yes to yourself and no to others more often. Take a nap or spend time with loved ones, hang out with pets. Okay. Give back and volunteer. This one's pretty self-explanatory. Provide support to a charity or volunteer your time. And then last but not least, focus only on what you can control. When we focus on what we can control, our thoughts empower us and give us positive emotions. So you want to ask yourself the following questions if you feel you need to, if you're worried. What's worrying me? But what's within my control? And what matters to me most? And what can I do about it? So don't focus on things that you can't control or that are out of your scope. Okay, so let's put this together. So when we think of the three areas of focus, nutrition, healthy habits, and mindset, they're all interrelated. They feed each other and they support each other. And to be successful, you really should focus on all three. So if you're wondering how you can do that, I add three key ingredients. You want to be consistent, you want to make it simple, and you want to have support. So by being consistent, that's how you develop habits that stick, by doing them consistently. If you decide to do a reset for yourself, do it for at least 3 weeks to ensure the habits stick. And then use proven tools to help you stay consistent. And then set right-sized goals for yourself. And last but not least, hold yourself accountable to those goals. And keeping it simple, you want to make small changes over time. And there's no need to overwhelm yourself with big goals. Set little goals, keep it simple. And if you're working on nutrition, like your meal plan or wellness plan, keep that simple as well. And then last, get support. Find people to support you in the process. Or better yet, have friends and family members do it with you. They offer great support. But also having unbiased support also helps you ensure your goals. So as I mentioned before, I recommend doing a checkpoint 3 to 4 times a year. And you can do that by asking the questions that I've mentioned in the beginning. And if you answer yes to any of those, then maybe it's time to do a reset. And the nice thing about doing a reset like this is that it's short, it's easy to do, and you can do it multiple times a year. And it also allows you to reset any bad habits that may have creeped back into your lifestyle. So that's pretty much what I have to offer. One of my little tips for today, Ellen. So I'll pass it back to you. If there are any questions, or if you have any questions, I can stop sharing and then we can just have a chat.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's a really beautiful way of encompassing so much information. I am curious, when you're talking about the nutrition piece and you're talking about health, the spectrum of foods in terms of how healthy or good they are for your body, how do you approach the idea, which is more the way I live my life, of everything in moderation? If I don't have food sensitivities, Like, are you saying, is it okay for me to, I enjoy my sugar, I enjoy my glass of wine. So, can I have it all?
Yeah. I think doing a reset, like when I do a reset myself or if I help others through it, I typically do it for 3 weeks, 21 days. And personally, what I do, I cut out caffeine. I cut out alcohol. I like wine myself. I am known to drink a few glasses here and there. But for that time, I allow my body to just not have that stuff. I just allow it to reset. What I find by doing it is, even if you may not be sensitive to foods, you may find that having a certain food triggers something in you, and you may not know it until you remove it for a couple weeks, for like 3 weeks, and then you incorporate it back in. It's like, my bowel movements changed, or I feel gassy, or I get this headache, or I just get some congestion. So that's what I find, and that's one of the things I help my clients through, is you do the reset, but then you introduce the foods back in. And I typically say, if you're going to reintroduce a food, especially if you think it may be a food that you're even a little bit sensitive to, don't introduce anything else. Eat that food for 2 days and see how you feel. And if you feel fine, you're good to go. And I think that's it. I think that's where it really helps. And then you just know, like for me, I had the test done years ago, and I know I'm not supposed to have dairy or stuff like that. But I'll tell you, I like cheese. I like wine and cheese. So I will eat cheese, but if I eat too much of it, if I decide to have pasta one day and then a cheese platter or charcuterie the next day and then have something else, I can feel congestion coming on. That's me. So I think, but again, you said in moderation. So I know I can have cheese and be fine. Like I can go on a Saturday night and decide to have a charcuterie board and some wine and I'll be fine. So
it's really about learning your body and how your body reacts to different substances, different foods, different, beverages, and just seeing what that does. And when you take them out for a while and then reintroduce them, that's probably a fairly, you may have some discoveries there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
So, and I remember actually I went off of sugar. I lasted 6 days. This was like as long as I could. This is how hard it was.
Awesome.
Fruit. Yeah, it was weird. 6 days without sugar and lost 6 pounds, which I'm sure was mostly water weight. And, but I remember when I then had a bite of like a piece of fruit after that, it felt so sweet because I had been used to the sugar, processed sugars, right? And so fruit was like whatever, but then suddenly it just was, oh my God, like a blueberry tasted so delicious. So it was very interesting when you do take something out, and so it kind of resets up your taste buds in a way too.
It does. I have that. I can tell if I have something that has stevia in it or monk fruit. It's like, no, it can just be a little bit, but I can tell, because I was the same way. I was off sugar, even fruits, everything, for so long. And you do lose that. You get that sensitivity, I guess. I don't know how else to say it, but
yeah, no, it doesn't taste as good as after you've been off of it for a while. And I think sugar is a problem for a lot of us, right? I mean, I think, and I think I've read that even babies, they love the taste of sugar. It's not, there's no baby that's saying, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So it's like this natural inborn thing that sugar is a very appealing substance to us and addictive in some sense. So,
you have to kind of hold yourself accountable, but that's where I find support comes in. Like, tell people that you're doing this. That way other people can hold you accountable as well. Yeah. But it's hard. It is hard, especially if you live alone or by yourself,
Yeah.
And the other thing I find is this, if you are addicted to certain foods, just get them out of your house. Just don't even have them there.
Yeah, because at that moment when you're going to want to reach for it, if it's not there, it's like, well, do I want to get in my car and go to the grocery store? No, there's a barrier there that for sure it helps. And sleep, I think, is another one that you mentioned that I think is really important, and that the sleep hygiene is we just don't do a good job with sleep so often. I mean, I'm a solid sleeper. I sleep 8 hours a night. I'm very, very lucky. I
Oh,
know,
you are. Oh, I'm jealous.
I know a lot of insomniacs, and it's just the few times in my life because of anxiety or other things that I wasn't able to sleep well, it's draining. And I don't know how people operate the next day when they don't have enough sleep. I mean, it's just, you cannot be at the proper level of just even, cognitively, emotionally, it just is, you're just not fully there.
Yeah, and I find probably a lot of people in this group would have that because hormones play a huge role in how, like, the quality of sleep we get.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, stress and anxiety definitely play a role as well. It's probably the number one
Yeah.
reason why we don't sleep
No, for
well.
sure. And I love the idea of getting fresh air every day. It's been tough with some of us, who've been hunkering down in very cold weather in the winter. I'm just so glad things are warming up and just allowing people a little bit more. But just, I know people who literally will just go outside and just stand outside if it's a sunny day, even if it's freezing, just to get that vitamin D from the sunshine and just to get some fresh air. You feel so cooped up already.
Yep. Yeah.
So important. And then, and I like that you added the body practices, that you kind of lump them together. And, I mean, everybody says I'm such a meditation failure. It's not even funny, but I like that you separate out breathing, because breathing on its own, it can be a reset. I mean, I know when I'm very anxious, and I've mentioned this on other ones of these, I work with a somatic therapist now, and she will literally have me do deep breathing, and that can calm the nervous system and really provide its own type of reset.
Yep. I'm not a big fan myself. I have a hard time meditating. I can't sit still to do it, but breathe I can do.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
One thing somebody had said to me too, if you have trouble meditating, look at a candle. And that works for me. Like, if you really can't focus your mind, especially if you can dim the room, turn on a candle and look at that flame, and it's mesmerizing. And that works.
Well, and the only kind of meditation that I can do is a guided meditation, like the whole silent. I'm actually trained in transcendental meditation, and sitting there for 20 minutes, saying my mantra to myself is one thing, but I actually find it a lot more soothing if somebody is talking to me on an app or whatever, and telling me what to envision, and imagine you're on a beach or whatever it is. Somehow I'm able to do that. It helps me focus my mind on something, because the mind, I think, is meant to be active, so it's very hard to just turn it off. And I know you're supposed to just come back to the breath and notice when you're wandering, and but I find the guidance very helpful. So, and then the whole shifting your mindset piece was also really had so much good stuff in there. When you talked about gratitude and positivity and self-care and giving back. I mean, there's and a big piece also focus on what you can control. I love that, because there is so much we can't control, yet we just obsess about it. To what goal, I don't know, but we can't help ourselves. And it's just as if the worrying and the thinking about it was going to have this controlling effect on its own, which it does not. So it's that was a big piece.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, you talked about the reset being at least 3 weeks, and then, and I know that you actually happen to have a 21-day reset program. So I'd love to learn more about that, and for my audience to learn a little bit about, you mentioned one way to do this is to find support, consistency, keep it simple, get support. So this is the piece, I guess your program does all 3 for you?
Yes, yeah. So the support, yeah, because it's good to get support from family and friends, but sometimes you need that little bit extra from somebody who is going to be unbiased. And And so what my program offers is the support, the accountability, and the tools as well. Like if you get stuck doing something, you can reach out and then we'll say, okay, let's work through this together and figure out what we can do. So yeah, so my 21-day program focuses on what I've said in this presentation. The way it works is I actually do it through, I have coaching software that I use, and you sign up for it and you go through. So every day there are lessons and there are habits, but you make it your own. So the first thing that we do is we have a chat and say, okay, what would you like to, what do you want to accomplish in the next 3 weeks? What is your goal, or what are your goals if you have multiple goals? And then we'll break that down. And if you are planning to do, some elimination and stuff like that, then we'll talk about where do you want to go? How far do you want to, go up that ladder? So we talk about that, and then we just, I hold them accountable through, and I have the tools to work with them depending on, what the client would select and what they want to do. So there's also some movement in there. I've added a bit of exercises, just, low impact type stuff for those that don't typically, especially during pandemic times. And I myself am very much like this, is that if you don't get out, I live in Canada, it gets cold. I'm a fair weather exerciser. I don't like to go out when it's cold. So doing just some kind of movement indoors, really helps as well. So I kind of put some of that together into the program. Yeah. So it, it comes with, you have the ability to, it's through my software that you can message me. We have a couple one-on-one chats as well to see how you're doing. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. And you can start anytime. It's not a group program or anything like that. It's a one-on-one through the software. So.
Well, that sounds amazing. So with that, I'm going to thank everybody for joining us today. Special thanks to Rick for sharing so much wisdom and your wonderful gift to us. And don't forget to check out the links I'll be posting in the comments. And if you enjoy these videos, please watch for more coming weekly. And until then, be well and stay safe, everybody.
Thank you.